Hi everyone, welcome to Freehandly Made AU Crochet. My name's Nisi and you're hanging out here with me in the cabin. So, let's get into it, shall we? So 2 years ago, July 29th of 2024, I received a package from Dawn Erin Loving Hand Creations. She's a hand dyer for those who may not know who she is. And she is a very talented hand dyer. And I have a lot of her yarn downstairs, and it was my 15th year anniversary of me and my husband, and he had asked, you know, something that I may really want for our 15-year anniversary. And I'm like, well, I know you don't usually buy yarn for me, but I would really love a colorway of yarn in my favorite color together, and I make something for myself with it. He's like, yeah, sure, reach out to Dawn Erin and have her make some, see if she can. So I did, and she did. And I promise y'all, I made a video. I did a short showing the package that it arrived, and then I know for a fact I showed the yarn on a video. Can I find that video? No, of course I can't. But the yarn's been sitting downstairs because I have been agonizing and trying to figure out what I'm gonna make with it. What am I gonna make with it? What am I gonna make with it? Couldn't figure it out what I wanted to make with it. Anyway, and my husband, you know, he's been picking on me about it and teasing me about it. And earlier during the week, I was actually on a video chat with Dawn Erin behind the scenes, and my husband was joining in on the conversation, and and he tattled on me and let her know that I still haven't done anything with the yarn that she had made for us, that I had purchased from her. And it's 6 skeins of super merino wool DK weight yarn. Each skein is 273 yards each, so it's just over 1,600 yards worth of yarn. And Dawn Erin was like, what do you mean she hasn't made anything with it? Why haven't you made anything with it, Nisi? You know, and I'm like, well, because, you know, I've been trying to decide, do I want to do Tunisian or do I want to do crochet? This is what I want to make, da-da-da-da-da. She's like, well, we're looking up patterns right now. I'm like, well, I mean, I've pulled some patterns. She's like, nope, we're going to Etsy. So she started dropping links in the private message, and we were looking up links and whatnot, and I'm like, well, here's the thing. So this yarn being the way it is, here's the yarn, and the lighting in here is gonna suck. This yarn is a lot more vibrant and bright than what it looks like on video, but here's the yarn. And the colorway is Forever Soulmates. That's the name I came up with for the colorway. And the purple is my favorite color, and green is my husband's favorite color, and I have 6 of them. I have six of these. And she's like, well, what were you wanting to make? And so I told her, oops. I told her what I wanted to make. I wanted to make a wearable, and I want to make a cocoon cardie. And there's all different types of cocoon cardies out there. And there's some beautiful ones with some beautiful stitching patterns. But those look really better with a solid yarn, because with this yarn, it's going to be, hang on. So here's the yarn. I'm gonna show it to you again because I'm gonna have to edit. This is the yarn, and I have 6 of these. As I said earlier, she included a couple of stitch markers. And it's DK weight. DK weight. Okay, so I want a cocoon cardie. That's what I've been wanting, and I was trying to decide. And there's so many. Like, there's Tunisian too that I would love a cocoon cardie done in Tunisian, and I'm just like, man, but Tunisian uses up a lot more yarn, and I think if I do a Tunisian, and I am going to do a Tunisian cocoon cardie because I do want a Tunisian cocoon cardie, and I think I'm going to get with Michael from MDL Crochet. I got with him a couple of times, and he was thinking the honeycomb Tunisian stitch or the oh, what was the other one? Oh my gosh, of course, Michael, of course I can't remember. oh my gosh, what was it called? It's a stitch that he used for one of his sweaters that he did that is not as, it doesn't give as thick of a material, and it's a really nice one to make for like light shirts, not like sweater, but like t-shirt kind of shirts, knitted shirts, Tunisian shirts, and for the life of me, I can't remember the name of the stitch right now, but he has suggested that one as well, and so I do want to do a cocoon cardi with one of those stitches, but I think I want to do one of those with a solid yarn and not a yarn like this, because with those stitches you're not going to be able to see the stitching very well with this kind of yarn, because this is not a self-striping yarn. It's really more of a kind of more like a variegated kind of style, I think is how it's going to look when I'm using it. I'm not going to know until I actually start using it. So I've got my ball winder and I got my Swifter over here set up, and I'm going to cake this all up, and we're going to cake it up and we're going to get it ready. So the pattern, so she gets on Etsy, and I'm trying to decide between these different patterns, and I finally decided, okay, Dawn Aaron's like, you need to keep it simple. Keep it a simple stitch. And so we found one called the Granny Square Cardigan. And it's basically just a granny square that you sew up the sides, and you can make it as big as you want. And so the one that she found that we chose is by... it is by, hang on one second, Fun Steps Academy. Now here's the thing about this pattern. I already read it because, you know, with Etsy, you and I both know we have to be really careful about AI, but this pattern did have a lot of positive comments on it. It had a lot of positive comments, and frankly, it's a granny square. I know how to do a granny square. So this pattern really isn't, I would say, unique. It is a very basic, beginner-friendly pattern. It's just a granny square. It's nothing extravagant. It's a very basic pattern. You can probably find this on YouTube as a free tutorial, to be honest. Now, Fun Steps Academy, I tried to look up more information about them. They're not on YouTube per se. However, they have some links on this pattern that takes you to a YouTube channel. Like if you want to learn how to do a Russian join, if you want to learn how to do an invisible finish, they have YouTube links to those, both of those tutorials. And so I was curious and I clicked on it.
Hello, fellow.
And it takes you to a channel called Spoons and Hooks is the channel it takes you to for both of the links that are in this paid pattern. So I will include the link to this paid pattern. Now the pictures that show in the pattern basically just kind of show you what it should look like when you're done. It shows you how to fold it. It shows you how to measure it, what it looks like after it's folded, and what it looks like after you add your borders to the sleeves and to the bottom edge of it. Anyway, it tells you how to do the finishing of the side seams. So it seems like it's a well-written pattern. You know, are the pictures of the girl AI generated? Frankly, you guys, I don't know. Possibly, I don't know. And for me, that's really not a deal breaker for me. I just want to make sure that when I'm reading it, it makes sense. And so far, I read it all the way through, and so far it makes sense. Like, but of course, I already know how to do a granny square for the most part, but I don't know how big to make the square. I don't know how, how far up do you sew it. It looks like a nice, and it's nice to have a written pattern. Anyway, so I'm like, I think I'm going to do this one, Dawn Erin, and I went to click on it to put it in my cart, and she had already purchased it for me as a gift. So, and she and my husband are in cahoots, and so she says, see, now I bought this pattern. Now you absolutely have to do it because I bought it for you. And I'm like, yes, you're right. And I will take a video of it. I'll take videos of me making it, and I'll start this weekend. And so I told her, I'm like, Friday, I'm going to cake up the yarn. I'm going to cake up the yarn, and we'll start it we'll start it this weekend. So here we are. We're going to cake up the yarn. So stay tuned. I'm going to try and get my table positioned away from the sun and see if I can get this worked out where I can film me caking the yarn. So stay tuned. Okay, so this cake came out very messy because my Swift wasn't set up correctly. My ball winder wasn't in the right spot. You need to make sure you leave enough room in between the two. I was not positioned correctly, and I made a huge mess, and I had to unwind it, and then I had to get the tangle out, and then I had to rewind it, and well, it was just, as you can see, I had issues. But it is manageable. So this one's not pretty, but this one came out pretty because I redid everything. Where's my center pull? Where's my center pull? I made a center pull, but of course you can't see where my center pull is at because I did whatever it is I did. So I'm going to pull this off really carefully. Here we go. And my center pull is in here somewhere. Don't ask me where because I have, oh, there it is. There's my center pull. So there's my center pull. So I'm going to just tuck this in very carefully. And there's my beautiful cake. So you see how I was saying earlier how it's actually going to turn out to be more like a variegated yarn? Now you see why. And this is how it's going to crochet up too as well. So that's why I said I need a very simple stitch. Now this is such a pretty cake. I have 4 more cakes that I have to wind up. And I'm not going to make you guys sit here through all of that. I'll start off with this cake because it's my messy cake. My first cake that I cake up always ends up not pretty, but then after that I kind of get it, and then it comes out nice and pretty. So that's 2 cakes. So I've got 4 more cakes, and my beautiful stitch markers that Dawn Aaron gave me. So the Swift I'm using, I don't know the brand names of these. It came as a set. The Swifter and the ball winder was the gift from Sanita Makes Crochet Items, which she gifted this to me like 4 years ago almost, I think. Yeah, 4 years ago. She gifted this to me 4 years ago, and I've only used it a couple of times. So, but I am probably going to use it a lot more. And then once I wear it out, and I can already tell, probably because I was a little rough with it, that there's a spoke that's a little bent. Maybe that's why I was having some issues too, because I was a little too aggressive with it. So, but once this Swifter wears out, then I'm going to invest in a real nice one. So in the meantime, I'm going to continue caking these up, and I'll come back and we'll finish up this video, and I'll tell you how everything went and what my plans are. So stay tuned. Okay, you guys, so this is the cake I started with, and here we are. Here's the beginning of my Cocoon Cardi. Ugh, this camera is not giving this any kind of justice, but it's turning out so pretty. It's so bright and vibrant in person, and this camera just, with this lighting, is just not doing this any kind of justice. Next time I show this to you, maybe I can show it to you outside where there's better lighting, so you can really see just how bright this is. But this is very, very bright, and as you can tell, the yarn is the star of the show, because if I used a complicated stitch, you guys wouldn't be able to see the stitches, which is pretty much true of most variegated yarns like this. But here we go, it started. So I'm going to end it here. I'm going to work on this some more tonight, and then I'll do another progress whip video. I don't know how many whip videos I'll actually do of this, but I'll do another, at least one more, and then once I get ready to do the construction, I'll maybe do another progress video before I start the border. And I need to look at this pattern to see the border that they used on it, because I didn't read the pattern far enough for that, but they do have a border that they use, and they do a ribbing for the sides, and they do a ribbing around the sleeve, so I'll be looking into that as well. But yep, it started, it's official. I've actually started on my Cocoon Cardi with my anniversary yarn, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I showed the hubs, and he's loving it too. This yarn is just absolutely gorgeous, and this yarn actually, I mean, it's super merino wool, but it actually has like a sheen to it. It's so pretty. I can't wait till this is done, and I can foresee myself wearing this a lot. Now what I need from you guys is super merino wash wool. So I'm thinking, if I remember right, Fuzzy Butt and Mama Swift were laughing at me because I didn't know this, but I think I can wash this on gentle cycle because it's been pre-washed already. I mean, it's super merino wash. What is it? Yeah, super merino's been treated and washed or something. Yeah, super wash merino. I'll get it eventually. I know y'all are laughing at me. It's fine. So I want to say Mama Swift and Fuzzy Bet said that I can wash it on gentle cycle and then lay it flat to dry. If that's the case, that's going to make my life a lot easier, because I'm going to want to wear this a lot. I can already tell you right now, I'm going to want to wear this a lot. It's so freaking pretty. So that's it. All right, you guys, until we see each other again, I'll see you guys for porch chat next Saturday. So I'll see you guys then. In the meantime, take good care of yourselves. Have a great coming up week this week. And I hope you guys share with me what you guys are working on. You guys can always use the community post to share with me, and you can also email it to me. Some of you are in or belong to the cabin crew. You can post pictures in cabin crew, and then some of you know me behind the scenes, and you can always send pictures to me through Facebook Messenger as well as email. But I love watching and seeing what you guys are up to. Anyway, I'm out of here. We'll see you guys again soon. Bye, everyone.